Hi, thank you for tuning in to Beyond the Surface. We are here today with Iris from These Pink Lips.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Oh, thank you. So we're going to just talk about simple things today, like what Iris have going on and what she have coming up, and just some deeper things behind the scenes that you may not know about just by looking at her profile on Instagram. So we have, our first question is, we can assume, but what's your favorite color?
It's actually black.
Is it? Now, I would have thought it was pink.
I know. I love the way pink looks, but if you look at my closet, all I really have is black. I just love the color black. It's just like, it's just so powerful to me. But pink was one of my second colors, pink and red. Hence, like, I'm always using pink, and I always used to wear pink lipstick. That's where I got the name These Pink Lips from.
So what's your favorite word?
I don't know. I'm gonna be cliche, and I'm gonna say girl power is my favorite phrase. But I don't think I have a favorite word.
No?
No.
See, sometimes I learned that my favorite word was no.
Oh.
Like, when I...
That needs to be my favorite word.
Yeah, exactly, because sometimes I say yes so much.
Right.
Like, when I was like, no, I'm like, I think I like this word. This word is really powerful.
Right.
Oh, yeah, so yours is girl power.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think that is driven from?
Just me being a female. Like, people ask me all the time, like, I wasn't intending on being like an artist that's like work is always about like women empowerment, but it would just be me painting my thoughts and how I felt or situations that I went through. So it was kind of like empowering. When I first started off, I started off painting, well, drawing. I actually hated painting, actually, but it wasn't until after I graduated college that I just started painting and turning my drawings into paintings. And I would make these paintings of women, and they would have like different words behind them, like strong, powerful, beautiful, different sayings like that. And it was just about like me trying to, uplift myself and or just uplifting other women. So that just became a thing, I guess, that I was just doing and just was known for, and then it just transferred into the clothes and stuff like that. So
Well, I guess I will ask, when you were painting women with different phrases behind them, do you feel like some women don't believe the words that you're putting behind them?
Yeah, but like I said, when I first started out, it was really for me, because when I grew up, I was super shy, and the women that I was drawing, they were like these bold, like in your face, like what I really wanted to be, but I was too shy to be. So I would just draw it out instead of like, I didn't always dress like this. I wasn't always just like boom in your face. If this is me, you love it or you don't. So when I would express myself with my art, because art for me was just something that I could just, be myself and tell my own story. So when I was drawing these women, it was just like, this is what I aim to be. I aim to be like a strong woman. I aim to be a powerful woman, to be uplifting, and to just, not be afraid to be who I am, just be confident. So when I was doing those paintings, they really were for me, and it was just like other women like, oh, I like that. I like the message behind it, and that's just how, it just came to be.
So for the other young girls out there that's, or even women, that's still at that state that I want to be this, I think I could be this, but inside I'm scared to be this. I'm scared to wear this. I'm scared to do this. What would you say to them to help pull them out of that?
It sounds cliche, but don't be. Like, if I could tell my younger self back then, like, Iris, don't be afraid to be who you really are, because it wasn't until I started being who I am that got me to where I am right now. I remember when I was in school and I would like, I guess, dumb myself down, like when it would come to like different projects. I always wanted to be an artist. I just didn't know what I wanted to do with art. I was just like, I'm like, how am I gonna make money as an artist? You always hear like, oh, you're gonna be a starving artist and yada yada yada. So I was just like, all right, let me just figure out what it is that I want to do. So I was just scared to, like, I would draw like these women, and some people would say they were kind of provocative and different stuff like that. But then as I just just started doing it and just being myself, that's when I came to be who I am as an artist, and what I was starting to be known for. Like, oh, you could look at something and be like, oh, that's Iris's work, rather than to be like, oh, I don't know who that is, because I didn't know who I was as an artist in the beginning. So when I just stopped being afraid of what people was going to think of me, that's when I really became confident and just started to really like doing what I was doing. Because I feel like if you're going to be an artist, or if you're going to be anything, if you're not being yourself, then you're not going to be happy. It doesn't matter if you're working for yourself or working for somebody else. Like, if you're not doing what you want to do and fulfilling what you want to fulfill as a person, it's no point in doing it. It's no point in me being an artist if I'm going to be fake and I'm going to hide who I am. I remember I had a school project, and this was like the first time that I was just like, all right, artist, I'm going to do what I want to do. Everybody was used to this shy, quiet girl, and we had a project where we had to pick an artist that we liked and do a website, and I chose Little Kim. So like, I remember when it first opened up, it was just like, open up like a peep show. It was Lil Kim. It had the Got D on the shirt, and everybody was just looking like, but they loved it. And I was just like, this is me.
And
like,
what grade was that?
I was in college.
That's not too bad.
Yeah,
That's not bad at
I was
all.
in college. No, my mom, she didn't even want me to get Lil Kim's CD, but my dad got it for me. But yeah, I was in college, and then everybody was just like, I remember I got a good grade on it, and it was just like, because I was being my true self, and it was just like, all this time you was just afraid of being your true self, scared of what some people might think, and not everybody likes my work, and that's okay, everybody's not going to like what you do. As long as you're staying true to yourself, that's all that matters. So don't be afraid. I would just say, just go for it. Don't be afraid. Just go for it, because it's so many things that I wish that I would have done back then. Like,
oh, wow.
And I was just like, Iris, why were you so scared to do that? Like, I didn't even want to go to a school far away. My school was like 10 minutes away from my house, my college. And I stayed on campus the first year because I didn't have a car. My mom got me a car, and I was like, all right, I'm going home. Like, I don't have to stay here. And I was like, you weren't enjoying, I'm like, you weren't enjoying yourself. You weren't like, being who you were intended to be. Like, don't be afraid to just, be you. Like, everybody's not supposed to be the same. We're all different.
Who helped pull that out of you? Was that something you developed and you pulled out of yourself? Or did you have your mom saying go? Or was your family saying no? So how did that work?
I would say the combination between me and my family. Me just growing and just, learning myself as I got older. But my parents were a big support system for me. Like, a lot of people, parents, like, when, especially, like, being an artist and wanting to go to school for art, like, you're not going to school for that. Like, my parents was like, if that's what you want to do, Iris, then that's what you do. And as long as you're good and you work hard, then do what you got to do. I remember when I first graduated, and I started working at Prudential doing insurance, and I hated it so bad. I went to work, and I used to sit in the parking lot and cry. I'm like, no, this is not what I went to school for. They said I was going to be a starving artist, and I knew it. And she used to be like, well, if you're not happy and you don't want to do it, then come home. I'm like, what are you telling me to quit? Like, I'm going to be broke. I don't have no money. And she was like, well, you better, like, think of a plan, and you're just going to have to really work hard. Like, I support you, but I'm not going to be giving you money to just sit around the house and do nothing. So I thought about it, and I remember one day I just went to work. I'm not telling nobody to quit their job, because don't do that. I had a plan, but I didn't have a plan. I just really winged it. I went to work, and I cleaned out my desk. I remember I went to work, I had a hoodie on, some sweatpants. It was like, I already told you about coming to work like this. And I was like, I'm leaving. They was like, well, you're not going to be able to get no references. I was like, listen, hopefully I won't need them. Like, and I remember after that, I went home. I just painted every day. I busted my behind. I would post my stuff everywhere. I would do different shows, and just keep working. And eventually my work got noticed. It definitely wasn't easy. It's still not easy now. Like, I still work hard. I still do whatever I need to do. But I mean, I'm here. I'm doing what I love. So
yeah, and she worked with like great people. Tell them some of the people you designed for, and where they wore your clothes to. I
remember like the first person who I was just like, oh my God. I used to always go to New York, me and my best friend, and we would go to Patricia Field's store. And her store, well, if you like know her store, that store was just like crazy, like in your face. As soon as you walked in, that's kind of what I really wanted my studio to be about. Okay. And she was the stylist for Sex and the City that we were proud of, but she was mainly known for Sex and the City and like all that crazy style. So I remember one day I was just, this is like when I was first like new to Instagram. Like, I was just doing t-shirts at that time and boots. And her manager at the time, Barbee, hit me up, and she was like, Patricia Fields wants you to come in. She wants to see your work. And I was like, wait, what? And this is the internet, so I'm like, I don't know.
Is this real?
Right.
Who is this?
But it was real. So, I packed my little stuff up, went down there to go show her, and that was like 2012, and I've been working with her ever since. I'm getting ready to work with her in Austria for this event called Life Ball. I've done like a lot of things with her. I went to Greece with her. I did Berlin Fashion Week. I first started out painting, but I remember Amber Rose assistant Benji, he had hit me up to do the VMA outfits for her, and at that time I wasn't really doing clothes, and he was like, Amber Rose wants you to paint her outfit and make it for the VMAs, and I was just like, wait, what? Yeah. So I was like, all right, yeah, I can do it. And I kind of finagled my way through that because I was like, I do not know how to sew, but I'm not about to tell these people that I don't know how to sew.
You don't know how to do that. We're gonna figure this out.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out. So I had hit my friend up who's a very good sewer at the time, and she made the outfits. I sewed them, and they wore on the red carpet for the VMAs. And after that, I just been working with like a bunch of other women. Cardi B, I did when she first started coming out. I did a lot of her pieces, and I did the her jacket for. I can't see here, but I did.
Oh, I see her.
Yeah, I did her jacket for Super Bowl, the Philly one.
Oh, that was nice.
So yeah, I've just been really blessed, and it's all because I like stayed true to who I am as an artist, and not really caring about what other people think. So
and that probably feel much better too.
It does, because it's something that I can be proud of. I'm just being myself, and that's what I try to like tell people. And when through my website, through my work, through my Instagram, like I'm just trying to be as real as I can be. And I know being an artist is hard.
Yeah.
And
just
doing anything,
genre, right?
Yeah. And being any type of entrepreneur or just working, whatever it is, and doing something that you love is definitely not easy. Like some people might look at, what I do, and they're like, oh, well, she just did this overnight. Like, no, I'm still a work in progress, and I'm still, very thankful for like all the opportunities that have come my way.
So these pink lips, how did you come up with that name?
Oh God. Like somebody might want to cover the ears, like. But no. Well, at first I wanted to call.
It's okay.
Look, I'm over here like, how do I say this?
Say it. It's all right.
I wanted to call my brand Pussy. Okay. And my friend was like, you can't do that. Like, especially if you want to look at being able to be in stores or being able to be mass
maybe
produced.
A little too vulgar.
That's a little too raunchy. Like when I first came out, I was just like really in your face. I toned down a little bit just because I just toned down a little bit as I got older. And I was like, I don't care. So he was like, no, but you really gotta think and be smart about this. So at the time, I was wearing a lot of pink lipstick. And so we was just like playing on words like the pink lipstick, the pink lip, these pink lips. And I was like, oh, I like these pink lips because, I could be talking about either or. I was saying it my way. Like, you don't know what I'm talking about. So that's where I got the name from.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting. Fun fact. So now with Instagram, everybody loves Instagram and everybody is trying to be on Instagram. Mm-hmm. How did you build up your following?
I used to be really shy, so when Instagram first came out, I probably didn't even get an Instagram until like a year later. And my friend used to always be like, you need to like push your work out there. At this time I was just like on Facebook with my high school friends, my family, like showing my work.
It was like a little bit more secluded,
And then my friends, they would like take pictures of my stuff and post it on their Instagram. And they'd be like, oh my God, where can I get this from? Who is this? They're like, oh, she's not even on Instagram. My friend like, you gotta get an Instagram. I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I got an Instagram, and now I feel like I'm addicted to it because I'm like on it all the time, like just constantly promoting myself or just just promoting like positivity and stuff like that. So it was just like, all right, now's the time for you to be on here. And I got a lot of opportunities on Instagram. Like that's how I met Patricia Phil, Cardi B, Amber Rose, a lot of different other people who I work with.
So when you first wake up in the morning and you grab your phone, what's the first thing you check?
My email.
Email's the first.
I check first probably redoing my my alarm clock because I'm like one of them crazy people. Like, okay, I'm gonna get up at 7:30, 8:30, and then I'm checking my email, and then I'm looking on Instagram, and then I'm checking my text messages.
Text messages come last. See, I just want to see how things are changing with time.
Cause I check my emails first because I'm like, I feel like I want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Okay.
I'm checking my Instagram, just want to make sure, everything's cool. Then I'm checking my text message. I'm like, most of the time my friends don't want anything.
Yeah, right.
So I'm like,
what I got on Instagram, my likes and my...
Right.
That's funny. But that seems to be where everything is going now. It's like social media, Instagram, different things like that. So what about you people don't see when they look at your Instagram page?
I think when people first meet me, they think that I'm gonna be like this real crazy, loud person. Because artwork. But I'm really laid back, quiet a little bit. They also don't see like my struggles because I try to be as open as I can, but I just don't like to be that type of person to be like, oh, well, I went through this and I went through that. But I'm really open with people. Like when I was younger, I struggled with being adopted. And I was adopted since I was a baby. So my mom, my dad, he passed away last year.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
They're all I know. So they are my parents. And I think like from the beginning, like when I first like started to like be online and my work started to be like known more, I would use my whole name, Iris Barbee Bonner. And Barbee, Barbee, is really my last name. My mom just kept it and made it to my middle name. And I was like, well, I want to use this platform, like, because what if like one of my family members out there is like, looking for me or Barbee. I'm like, you don't meet too many people with the last name Barbee, Barbee, anyway. So I struggled with that a lot as a kid, and I feel like through my art, like that was like kind of like art therapy, like, me feeling better about myself. And that's why I would make these women with like strong, powerful words, because growing up, I felt like, I guess kind of like hopeless or not good enough, like wondering why like my mom gave me away. So
it's okay. Different story for me. My mom died when I was 3 months, and I feel like I deal with the same pain. And it's weird because I was just writing her a letter about 2 weeks ago because I'm like, I'm tired of dealing with this pain. I just really want to get over this, and I don't want to deal with this anymore. So as I was writing a letter to her, I said, I'm sorry for being mad at you because I know it wasn't your fault, right? Because I didn't understand. I just didn't understand it. And I really didn't understand the fact that I didn't know her, and I still feel that void. So for me, that was like, why? How can you miss something that you never known or that you never experienced? But I know I can relate somewhat to that pain and to that feeling of abandonment and that feeling of emptiness. And even, like you say, you had a mom that you knew all your life. You had a dad. Inside, you still have that feeling. As if you're missing something.
And it's just like, who do I look like?
Like
your brothers and sisters. So I would keep
like your identity. You feel like I'm missing a part of my identity.
And I struggled with that a lot when I was younger until I got older, and it was just like, you just gonna have to, if you keep keeping this with you, you just never want to feel good enough. So you just gotta kind of just live with it and kind of forgive her. I later found out that my biological mom passed away. So I never did get to, meet her. But recently,
sorry to hear that.
Thank you. Recently, I have a sister. She reached out to me through Instagram.
That's great.
And I was just like, see, this is why I kept my whole name and everything. And so I'm kind of like, working on that and trying to get to know that side of my family.
Did you ever meet them yet?
I have.
Oh.
Well, I met one, but I'm supposed to have like 6 brothers and sisters, and found out all of this.
Is this your dad, or is your dad still?
No,
he passed.
Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about.
So your siblings is from your mom.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, like they connect. So I try to use social media to for myself, for others. Like, you just never know what somebody is going through, and that's why I try to stay positive online. I don't like promoting negative negative stuff, I like to always, like, if you look on my Instagram, I'm either promoting my
Yeah,
work,
exactly.
or I'm either promoting
Women.
somebody else's stuff, women, or I'm just promoting, like, positivity. Like, I'll post, like, a different quote. I try to do it, like, almost every day, because I'm like, you know, some days I might not be feeling good, and I just need to hear some, like, positivity or something. I'm like, somebody else probably needs to hear this
as well. Exactly.
You just never know what somebody is going through, and people so used to, you know, I feel like sometimes people use the internet for the wrong things, and I just want to use it to, like, uplift and, you know, just make people feel better, make myself feel better, and just, I want you to look on my page and be like, oh, she's a nice person.
Yeah, she's a nice person. And when people do things, one thing I had to learn, when people do things to us, sometimes we internalize that as maybe we were the cause that they done this. But we're not.
Right.
They're the cause that they done that. It's something that they're going through, something that they went through, you know, cliche, but hurt people. And that's just, like, it's sad, but it's a sad reality, right? Why you laughing?
No, because it is. It's the truth. And people be like, people say it all the time, and I'm like, it's true. It definitely is true. So you just gotta, you know, you gotta own it. And you can't hold on to negative things, and you just gotta.
But I definitely agree with owning it in a way where you explore your feelings.
Right.
Not in a way where people are so dismissive with their feelings. I don't care about that.
Right.
I ain't worried about that. It don't matter. I got this. No. Embrace the truth.
Right.
Because if you're hurting, or if something is impacting you, or if you're really not happy, or if you're really not satisfied, the only way to get over it is to acknowledge that it's there and deal with it, and then move forward. Because the more we keep just burying stuff, it don't go away.
Right.
I don't care what you put on. Exactly. And that's why this show is called Beyond the Surface. Because I don't care what I put on, I don't care what I look like, I don't care if I smile. Inside, I could be broken.
Right.
I could be crying. And I deal with that on the daily. And I'm realizing that I can get over one thing, and then next month, I'm like, I thought that I was over that 2 years ago. But I'm still experiencing this same pain and this same feeling and these same emotions that's coming up.
Right. It's true. And that's why I feel like a lot of times, like, social media is like a gift and a curse. Because people, if you're not a strong individual, like, a lot of people look, and I even have people come to me like, oh my God, I wish I could do this like you. And I'm like, no, don't ever say you wish you was me. Like, I don't wish I was nobody but myself. Like, you never know what somebody is going through. Like, I want people to look at me and be like, oh, okay, I'm inspired by her, but I don't want anybody to want to be me, like, you know what I mean? Exactly. I feel like some people use it for the wrong platform, and it's just, if you're not a strong person, then you can get swallowed up by, you know, thinking that you got to be this perfect image or a perfect person because of what you see.
Or let me encourage you to be the best you.
Right.
Like, you see what I'm doing, and you see what I went through against what society may say is right or whatever. I was able to branch out, and I see that it was right for me, and you know what I mean, and I'm getting attention off of it and exposure, so just be the best you. Right. You know what I mean? From that little girl you were that was nervous, now you see that, oh, I'm glad that I moved forward. I'm glad I branched out. I'm doing interviews. I'm speaking to young people. I had people looking up to me, but when you look up to me to see what you can be. Right. Not inspired to be me. So I think that's great. Do you have any kids?
No.
You said
I have a little sister.
That's
like my baby. She's 9. So it's she's adopted. She doesn't know. We haven't told her yet, but it's my mom adopted me, and I have another sister. We're both 4 months apart. She's 4 months older than me. So my mom, she couldn't have kids, so she adopted me, adopted my other sister who's 4 months older than me. And then my mom was doing emergency foster care, and we had my little sister when she was like 3 months. And I was like, Mommy, first of all, my mom is like 75, 76. She's like, all right, you're not telling my age. So I was like, what are you doing with this little baby? Like, no, But, you know, we got attached, and, you know, things didn't work out with her mom. So I was just like, this our baby.
When did you find out that you were adopted?
I was in the 5th grade.
And they sent you down and told you?
Yeah. So
Christmas? Was that a gift?
I think she thought she was doing something that was going to, like, help us out. And I was just like, really? I be thinking back on it like, you you know, me and my sister took it a different way. Like, I was just, like, so distraught. And I was like, I knew it, though. Because I'm like, I don't look like none of y'all. Like,
I knew something was funny going on.
Plus, we were getting older, so people were like, how are you and you and your
fifth
sister?
grade, how old are you in 5th grade? What is that, like 11?
I think so. But I feel like you should tell kids. Like, I want to tell my little sister now. I feel like she'll be more open than I was because, you know, both of her older sisters are, and it won't be like she's alienated. Like, we all are. It's like,
yeah, that's true. But you have to find that sweet spot, and maybe not on Christmas, right?
Yeah. It was like the day before Christmas. I don't know what she was thinking. Maybe she just felt something in her soul. Like, I had to tell them now. But I was like, that's why I'll never forget it. I was in the 5th grade.
Exactly, it's attached to that. That's why you gotta do it on a random day.
Right.
Attached to something. That's funny.
So, yeah, that's my little baby. I'm like, you know, I treat her like she's mine. So, yeah.
How was that process for you, though, when your mom told you that?
It was hard, because, you know, the first thing you think when you're a kid, like,
why?
Yeah.
Where's my parents?
Yeah, like, why? How could you get
How old was I?
Right.
Like, did you have a lot of questions, or did you say, like,
I was
don't want to
mad,
Yeah,
to be
exactly.
honest.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really a lot of questions. I was mad, and like we were talking about holding things in, I was mad, and I held like that in probably till I was like in high school, and I just had like a nervous breakdown. And that's when I finally was like, you know, I want to know who my mom is. I want to know this. And then when my mom finally did, like, you know, trying to figure out who my mom was, we found out she passed away. So then I was mad at myself because I was like, you know, you held this in so long. Maybe if you would have, you know, tried to find out, like,
just question.
Yeah, so it was a lot going on. But, you know, I went through a lot just because I didn't really want to talk about it. I didn't want to make my mom feel bad because I didn't want to be like, oh.
You felt like that was your burden too, like, to make sure she's still protected.
So it was hard. And I just be trying to figure out, you know, a way to make it less hard on my little sister. I feel like the younger the better, to be honest. Like, I want to start telling her, like, now, but, you know, my dad passed away, so then I'm like, you know, I still want my mom to be here, and so
I didn't even think about that.
This is kind of hard. I just feel like it's never really probably a good time to say something like that, but I feel like my little sister, like, she's surrounded by nothing but love and support, so, I mean, even though I didn't see it the same way, so I'm like, hoping she don't take it the same way I did, because now as I'm older, I'm like, you know, I was super blessed. There's a lot of people who are thrown in the foster care system and they get people who mistreat them or they don't have anybody. And I was blessed to have amazing parents that supported me through everything. So it's just like, you know, you got to look at it from, you know, that
a different perspective. And a great thing that your sister had, she had 2 sisters that been through exactly what she went through.
Right.
So now you can express to her everything that you was going through.
Right.
I internalized it. I didn't talk about it. You can encourage her to talk about it.
Right.
Do you want to meet your parents? I don't know if that's, but I guess y'all can talk about, like.
Yeah, I wouldn't even talk to her about that because I felt like I couldn't go to my mom and say that. Like, as much as like my mom was my best friend and I talked to her about everything, like, everybody goes to my mom with their problems, and I still didn't want to go to her and say that to her. But so I would definitely like talk to my little sister about everything that I felt like. If you want to know who your mom is, I'm here for you. Like, don't think that I'm gonna feel bad or mommy's gonna feel bad. Like, I don't want her to bottle up how I did because it definitely held me back for a long time.
So young kids, being as though you went through some things at a young age, young kids that's going through something inside. I just seen this young girl, they had a story on it. She went and jumped in the river and committed suicide.
Oh, wow.
And her parents was like, she was just so happy. Like, we don't know what happened. She was so happy. She was at the top of her class. She was doing so many positive things. But inside,
she was hurting.
She was hurting.
Right.
What would you say to that young girl?
Excuse me. Don't be afraid to talk to somebody. Like, if you feel like you can't talk to your mom, just talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And I be feeling like, you know, especially like within the black community, we don't want to go get help and get therapy. And I definitely went through all of that. And I was like, I don't need no therapy. That's for crazy people. Meanwhile, I was going through a lot of stuff in my head. So it's like, you know, I would say to parents, I'm not a parent, but I would just say, like, don't be afraid to talk to your kids about everything.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Make sure you guys tune in to Beyond the Surface.
Thank you.
You're welcome.